Hello everyone. In this lecture, we are trying to learn about the conversion of Roman number to integer value. Okay. So before going to know how we are going to convert Roman to integer, as you already know, that we had few specific characters like capital I is 1, capital V is 5, and capital X is for 10. So we had already fixed values, right? So first, we need to fix up those values. That is, you need to fix up those values. I means it is 10, V means it is 5, X means it is 100, L means it is 50. Right. So first, you are going to set out those values, and then you are trying to check out few conditions also. That is, if I give I and V, right? So at that time, what it is value is actually 4. That is, if the greater value is on right side and lesser value is on left side, you will try to minus the value. That is V minus I. That is 5 minus 1. You should get the answer as 4. If suppose you are having the value like V and then I, that is V is following I, then what you should get, you will do 5 plus 1. That is, if it is on right side, you will do addition. If it is on left side, you will do subtraction. This was one of the main conditions what we are trying to check out. And also, when you are trying to give the values which are already fixed, that is, generally, if I wanted to write 15, right? So how can I write that? V X, right? If I give the values like V and X, so at that time, what will happen? What is my V value? It is 5, right? What is my X value? It is 10. So what should I do? X minus V, right? So what you'll get the value as 5, right? But if I wanted to write the same thing with the 15, then what can I do? X and then V, right? So these conditions you need to check out and then you need to write. So the thing is, especially we will be using I, X and C for the associations of your addition and subtraction values, because sometimes these combinations will also lead to your negative values, right? If suppose I wanted to write 110, then I can give CX, right? I can also write XC, right? What will happen? Then I'll get 90. But what is the 90 value actually? Right? So in that way, you need to check out. So that is the reason I'm telling that I, X, C are associated with each other. So when you are giving the combinations, these are associated and contributed for your subtractions and all, right? So that one you need to check, and then rest all other things. What I said, if you are having left smaller values on the left side and greater values on the right side, then subtraction. And if you are taking value towards a greater and then your smaller value, then it is your addition. So like that you will be checking out, right? So first let us see what all we require here in this. As usual, we are moving on with our stdio.h and then string.h, and then I'm creating some method like digit where I'm trying to pass the character value, because we are taking the char values, right? I, X and all. So with that, we need to convert it into numerical values, right? So for that reason, and I'm taking main function where I'm declaring some character array of size 1000, and int I is equals to 0, some other number is equals to 0, and I'm asking enter any number, right? Any number, but it should follow this. Valid digits are like capital I, V, X, L, C, D, F, right? You know, I is 1, V is 5, X is 10, L is 50, and C is 100, and D is 500, M is 1000, right? So in that values you have to give, like you can't give Z and all, right? So then you are reading that value. So while Roman number, that is when you are giving some Roman number, it is true. If a digit of Roman number is less than 0, then we will print that it is not a Roman number. That is, you had given some invalid number other than those values. If you'll give, obviously you'll get less than 0 value, and then you will tell that it is not a Roman number, and simply you will just return 0. Right. And then next, another condition what we need to check, as I said, if you write something like Vx, which is not possible, or VL you take, it is not possible, right? So in such cases, we need to check out those values. So for that, we are trying to check this one. String length of Roman number of minus I is greater than 2. Then you are trying to check the, if Roman number of I is less than Roman number of I plus 2, what are the second value is there, that one you will check out. Then you will tell that it is an invalid number. Okay, and that was the second condition. And coming back to our third condition, so here we are using an extra variable number, and for that you are trying to add the values, right? If digit Roman number of I is greater than or equals to digit number of I plus 1, then what we are doing, simply you are adding number with the digit Roman number of I. That is, I said no, if we will write V and capital I, then what I'm doing, I'm adding V. What is my V value? 5. 5 is going to add with the 1, right? So that is being performed over there. Else, number is equals to digit Roman number of I plus 1, that is the first value, and then minus Roman number of I, right? So if I take V before that I, that is if I wanted to do 4, 1 V I'll give, right? So that time I should minus that one. So that logic I am using here. So it is checking either it is right side or towards the left side. So this is a loop which will be done for n number of times, because we need to check out the values, right? So and then finally you'll be quitting from your while loop, because I had used here while instead of for loop, right? So each time I need to increment I value, and then I need to check out. And finally you will print um, it is decimal value or not. And then, so what all we had done here, every time I'm reading the digit Roman number of I plus 1, right? So whatever those values are there, I also need to check out that digit, that is in previous what I had explained just now. I just said number digit of number I plus 1, digit I plus I, or digit J, right? So those values will be coming here. That is, how can I take those I values, J values, right? So that you, from there your cursor will come back here to this method, and here you will check if value is equals to 0, and you are trying to make a switch case. If you are giving capital I, then value will be 1, and just simply break. So like that, each and every capital letter, I'm trying to assign some particular value, right? So for V, it is 5, for X, it is 10, for L, it is 50, for C, it is 100. So I'll give these values, and if you will give null, it is 0, just simply break out, and then default value is -1, right? So this is what you will do. And from here, you will go back to that if loop, while loop, and you'll then add what, that is whether you wanted to do addition or you wanted to do the subtraction. Next incremented value, next digit I should go, no? So for that you will be incrementing I and I values. Okay, so let us once compile this code. If and finally you are returning the value for that int character of C, right? Just save the code and then compile your code. No errors. Run your code. So as I said, if I wanted to give the values like, say we'll give 5, okay, its decimal value is 5, okay. So let us run again once again. So we'll give now XV, it is 15. We got correct, right? And if I'll try to give like VL, what is my V value? VL, it is 45, right? If I'll give something like Vx, it is 5, right? And so like that, you need to check out all those values, and also you need to give a where those are not associated for subtraction. That is I, X, and C. These are not these are contributed in subtraction. Rest all others are not going to be contributed in our subtraction. Okay. So that's all for this video, converting of your Roman to integer values. Thank you all.